Welcome to Ink and Bones. My name is Jaden. In this video, we're going to go through the sketch layout and pencils of pages 18 and 19. It's a big old double page spread of my creator-owned Halloween comic book. So for pages 18 and 19, Patti, Jack, and Timmy have defeated the bullies, they've retrieved all the stolen candy, and now Patti and Jack are going to walk Timmy home, and on the way home, they're going to drop off the candy to their rightful owners. So now, let's get into the sketch portion. My main focus with this double page spread is that it is cohesive and flows from the very top left to the very bottom right. So one of the main things that are going on in this page is they are loading up a bunch of stolen candy, a bunch of like these giant bags of candy in a wagon, and then they're going to take that and drop it off while taking Timmy home. So I really wanted to hammer in the fact that they got a lot of candy that they got to drop off. So that first panel, we got Patti loading in the bags into the wagon, kind of like a worm's eye view shot. And I've always really had this image in my head, kind of like the Lion King shot, the silhouette of them walking across the bridge. And this is my take on that, of them. They're walking across like this log over a riverbed. Then we get the shot that actually helps lead in from the left page to the right page with the big silhouette of them walking on the log, haunted mansion looking thing in the background. And then here we got one of my favorite panels I think that I've drawn, or at least up until this point that I have drawn. It's so simple. It's just our heroes walking home under a street lamp on Halloween night. Vacant streets, no one's out, just houses are lit and they're walking home. So now that we showed them walking, now we get to showcase each one of them leaving a bag of candy on someone's porch. And I really got to stretch my architectural muscle, very, very perspective heavy on this page. So it was very fun to try and think of interesting houses to do, different decorations, different layouts of these houses. And that was Jack and Patti in the foreground, giving Timmy a thumbs up to him dropping off his bag. And then kind of so that previous panel of Timmy dropping off his bag is kind of from the sidewalk view, looking at the house. When Jack is dropping off his, we're at the doorstep view, looking out from the house. And you can see there's like zombies in the yard and, you know, tombstones and all that type of shit. And then because my brain was a little slow on perspective, I went ahead and skipped ahead. Drew them in the wagon. I already knew exactly what I wanted that scene to look like, very much Calvin and Hobbes style. And then back to this panel where we got Patti dropping hers off, and I kind of wanted it to be, you know, that's their last bag they got to drop off, so she's kind of like stretching, you know, job's done, now let's go home sort of thing. And now here we are dropping Timmy off. They're saying bye to him. I've actually gone back at this point already and have changed a lot of panels, a lot of character faces, style and stuff throughout the whole book. And this is the one thing I haven't fixed yet, is his pose. Him turning back. That's not the most interesting. I think it works fine, but I still might go back and fix his pose. I might have him just looking at them saying, you know, peace out. And now that Timmy has dropped off, we got our hero characters heading home. And now they can get into the debate of who has won their little Halloween games, of who has the most candy. So that about does it for the sketch portion. And before we get into the pencils, if you guys are digging the video so far, and if you've even made it this far, go ahead and slash that like button real quick, drop a comment, hit that subscribe button. I know it takes a half of a quarter of a millisecond for you, but it means a whole bunch to me, and I would greatly appreciate it. But now, let's get into the pencils. So here we go, laying down some blue lines. I don't know when I started doing that. Red line sketches, blue line pencils. But here we go, the blue lines means I'm getting down to business. And that first panel, now you can really see the angle that I'm going for. We're looking up through the grass. We got Timmy in the background waiting for his turn to load up his bag. And then this shot is a top-down shot. And I always like to do that too, kind of alternate angles. But the second panel, we got the top-down shot, looking down at them, running across this log. This is more of an establishing shot, so you know where they are when they just kind of appear in this silhouetted, you know, Lion King looking shot. And very simple, the silhouette shot is just really drawing their lines and then filling in with black. And then on to one of my favorite panels that I've done, them walking home. This is where I really started to focus on putting in a lot of detail in my perspective in the houses, adding cars, which I wasn't too used to drawing until starting on this double page spread. I started adding cars all throughout the book, especially on this double page. I think there's like 5 or 6 cars, because you really got to sell the fact that they are walking on a street and people live in these houses and people have cars. Also, another thing that I added specifically on this panel and then went back and added them throughout the book were telephone lines, telephone wires, street lights. I wanted it to feel very suburban, so I went back and started adding all these phone lines and shit like that. And then we got the group just dropping off their bags, clean lines getting put in. You can kind of see a little bit more. And then you can really see it on Jack's panel that we're looking at right now. Is in the background you got Patti and Timmy just kind of kicking it. Patty's on a tombstone eating a chocolate bar or something, just kind of waiting for Jack. And again, lots of stuff going on in the background, very perspective heavy. A lot of trees, a lot of front porches and pointed gable roofs, or whatever they're called, sable roofs, gable roofs. And then for Patty's drop-off shot, the final bag drop-off, I couldn't think of a interesting angle, so I just kind of put it as if we were looking. They have a little entryway that's maybe gated or something like that, and then we're just looking down the barrel, 1-point perspective, just seeing them drop off this bag. And when in doubt, if you can't figure out what to do in the background and you can potentially cover it up with leaves or trees, go forth. Because I'll tell you what, I know it's autumn and I know it's fall in this book, and a lot of trees don't have leaves, but anytime I need to block out something or really fill the page, yeah, that tree's got some fucking leaves, I'll tell you that much. And then here's just a really fun character scene. This one also blending the left page to the right page. We have the silhouette shot of them walking on the log, and then right below it is this one. Real Calvin and Hobbes style. I mean, I don't think Calvin is throwing up the rock and roll horns, but we got Jack throwing up the horns and Patty's kind of on the side hanging, like looking over. You know, she's digging it. And then Timmy's just fucking, he just got his Jason mask on, just just posted up. And then back to more perspective drawing. We got Patti and Jack walking home. Again, another shot from the front porch looking out, which more work for me because now I'm at a wide angle. and we're looking out at the street. That means I gotta draw at least 1.5 to 2 houses. And so we go from like a real wide shot to kind of a medium tight shot, a little bit of a downward looking angle. And another good filler is jack-o'-lanterns and tombstones. They are in this book by the droves. I know it's Halloween, that makes sense, but it really helps out when you gotta maybe cover some ground that's way in the distance, and all you gotta do is just draw a couple little jack-o'-lanterns and a tombstone behind it. It really helps out. The bottom of the double page spread, they've dropped off Timmy, and now it's just them walking home. And this is where they really get back to what the book is about, and it's them. They're in a duel, they're in a competition with each other about who can get the most candy. So in this whole bottom row of panels, Jack's going like, listen, bitch, I'm king shit here. Look at my face. It's a fucking pumpkin. You're not gonna win. And she's going, who the fuck, you know, they're going back at it. So with that sort of intention for this scene and the way it's written out, these bottom 2 shots, they're smiling at each other, you know, and I know he's got a jack-o'-lantern for a face, but still, like, I make him mad in other panels, and it just really did not flow how I ended this page with them like smiling at each other, when right when it goes into the next page, they're talking heavy amounts of shit to each other. So I went back and switched that up. I wasted the time and penciled it completely, and actually this page sat like this until I finished the next page, and I went back and fixed it. And I was showing her, she kind of had a little bit of, she's pointing at him, but it was still all smiles, and it didn't make sense. And I didn't even like the camera angles that I did. So then here we go, now they're like really in each other's face. I like that he's still holding on to his bag and, pointing up at her, up in her grill. And she's doing the same thing, she's littler than him, so she's kind of, turning her nose up at him and like, what the fuck are you gonna do? All right, and that about does it for the pencils for pages 18 and 19. Let's check it out. And that about wraps it up for pages 18 and 19, the last double page spread of the book. As of now, there is 20, 21, 22, 3 more pages left to pencil. And we are all done. Well, and a cover, so 4 pages left. But those will be on another video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you would like to see more, consider subscribing, slash that like button. If you're working on something, you got your own YouTube where you're drawing your little ass off, let me know in the comments. I'll go check it out and I'll leave a comment on there. And if you want to see the pages that I have penciled so far, go ahead and check out the Patti and Jack playlist. But for now, this has been another episode of Ink and Bones, and I will see you on the next page.